There is a really interesting rule for English-based words that I want you to know, because I never want you to say, I don't know why this happens. English is just a funny language. Guess what it is? It's that in the English language, we do not end words with an I, J, U, or V, except you and I, because you and I are special. So we have to do things with English-based words that make it so the I, J, U, and V are not at the end. So let's look at the vowels first. So we do not want to have an I at the end. So like this vowel team saying A, like rain, can be found in the middle of a word. But if the A sound is at the end, we'll do something like AY instead. So there's no I at the end. Same with the diphthong OY, like in coin. Instead, we have to have the OY at the end, so it's not an I. Then, if we're looking at the long U sound, instead of putting a long U at the end of a word, we do something like EW, or a sound like that, diphthong. But what about the J and the V? So let's look at the J first. The J is a really cool sound, J. If you hear a J at the end of a word, you're going to need the GE ending. That's why it's there, J. So that E is helping that G say J. Same down here with fudge, J. That GE combination is saying J. All right, what about the V? Oh, this is one I hear all the time, you guys. Why are these two words, have and love, not have and love? Well, I teach my students there is a very specific reason why this is not a magic E. When I'm teaching magic E words, I teach my students this rule that an English word cannot have a V at the end. So if you think a word is a magic E word and you look before it and it's a V, it's probably not a magic E. That E's job is to close that V out. So it is not at the end of an English word. So this is a, v, l, v, that's a schwa, love. That is why those are not magic E words. Isn't that cool? I love English. If you know the rules, you can explain it to your students and empower them with that knowledge so they can spell words correctly.